There's a there's a lady here that doesn't like me, which is fine, as long as she doesn't bully me and harass me. Um, there's a few drug addicts in the area, and some of them are homeless, some of them ain't. The feller here doesn't mess around with drugs; he just drinks. So a lot of the people that he's nice to, they do more than drink, and they're kind of scary, depending on if they're coming down or not. So I was told not to let anybody in. The only two people allowed in here are the two people with keys. Um, but then he was calling me up and telling me to let other people in who were showing up and being demanding. And then he's angry that his stuff is going missing from the people that he's saying, well, let him in. Or those people are showing up under the promise of coming over here to do work for him, and instead of doing work for the guy, they're just showing up to bully me, which is stupid. Last night I wanted to get some sleep, but instead of getting to go to sleep, I got to listen to people beating on the door all night. Hey man, let me in. I left my stuff in there. I'm like, what the fuck did you leave? And who the hell are you? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And somebody wanted to have an argument out here last night at like way fucking late. And then, of course, there's somebody that keeps coming and checking the door. They don't knock, they just come test the door handle and leave. I say, who is it? No reply. So then one of the people that has a key that's allowed here, he lost his key yesterday because he let somebody else use it. He was coming through and leaving the doors wide open, which I was told not to let him do. So, of course, I've been doing that. Oh, nasty. Uh, um, there's a lady named Lisa. She's kind of a shorter lady. She's got a real super nice dog. He also doesn't like being walked up on from behind, which I can understand. So I've been trying to clean up all my stuff and clean up a bunch of other stuff. I've been trying to get my stuff organized, and the whole time I've been trying to get this stuff done, it's been one issue after another with people demanding entry into a place that's not mine. Then they get angry when I would rather call the guy and find out if it's okay than just go open the door for every single person who comes over here saying, oh, well, I was told I could come in anytime I want. Well, that might be. But under the circumstances, I'm going to call. It's hard to be responsible for somebody else's stuff. You know, it does put a lot of anxiety on you. And then there's, like, for example, somebody letting me keep my stuff here. There's the anxiety that goes along with letting somebody keep their stuff at your house. What happens if they go to jail for 6 months or a year? What happens if they move out and all their stuff is still there? What happens if they go on a bender and break a bunch of stuff in my house? And I gotta try to replace that stuff. And I gotta still store theirs. What happens if we can't get their stuff back civil like, and there has to be a bunch of cops show up to make sure nobody gets their ass whooped? There's a lot of stuff that you really do have to think about depending on who you're dealing with. Church going folks generally ain't going to start a fight. If they're offering to come help you move your stuff this weekend and they actually show up this weekend and they help you move your stuff, they're probably not going to start a fight. They might try starting an argument or try talking your ear off about Jesus. But church folks generally aren't going to start a fight. Now then you got people who are drug addicts, and some of them folks go to church. When they're not at church, they're more likely to do foul things. Give me just one moment. Anyway, I got shit for sleep last night. And, of course, the guy who lent out his key is missing now. So now he's running around looking for his wallet and his key. You see how difficult this is when I'm barely responsible for me? And then there's the constantly getting up and going to the door and back and forth, plus having to sort through my stuff while having to come back in here and get the door for people and then go all the way back out there and then come all the way back in. Like, as soon as I get back out to my stuff to start organizing it, somebody else is demanding attention. Then there's, of course, messages from people that are pretty harsh. I mean, don't get me wrong. I get why this guy was being harsh. Some of his language I don't agree with. It's words I don't use. If I don't use the word, you can imagine what word was used. Words you don't hear me say on my channel ever. Anyway, my back is killing me. Finally, the light's out so I can go out. I don't mean like the light's out as in someone turned off the lights. I mean, it's light out. It's daytime. Sun's out. It's quasi-open, so I can actually read some of the stuff I have to go through as far as the paperwork goes. I gotta clean up the mess that's in here again. One of the people both of the people who have keys are nice to me. One of them, she's really responsible with it. She knocks on the door and announces herself. She unlocks the door with her own key. She also locks it on her way out. There's another lady here with the same name who's a lot taller, and she's mean. And she might have been one of the people arguing last night, like around, I don't know, 10:30, 11:30, somewhere around there. It was late as fuck. Then, what else was there? Somebody beating on the door saying, "Hey, let me fuck in. My shit's in there. Hey, my stuff's in there, man." Fuck. Hold your horses. Who is it? And I wait, and I wait, and I wait. No reply, no answer. This morning I hear somebody fucking with the door. I get up. I hear like just a little bit of the trail edge of somebody saying something. I don't know if they're muttering something to somebody they're talking to next to them, or if they're talking on a phone, or if they're just fucking pissed off with the situation because they were expecting to be able to just walk in here. Maybe it's somebody who stayed previously, or maybe somebody who got permission to stay here and then it was revoked and then it wasn't. Like there's a lot of irresponsible people. Anyway, I gotta go pee. So I'm gonna end this video. I know it's a little bit premature. I do want to talk about Claire a little bit. I did post up 2 recordings with her that I'm supposed to send to her, so she's got a copy. You can also listen to it. You can tell I'm an asshole. There's a lot of really important stuff that needed to be turned in right away. Say I tried and nobody would listen. What I mean is that I tried and nobody would listen. It's difficult being victimized and being a male because men can't be victimized. If a man is victimized, it's his fault. He chose it. It's his fault for being there. It's his fault for existing. If a man is assaulted, it's his fault for being there, isn't it? What were you doing there? Hey, how about we focus on somebody doing something they shouldn't have been doing? Instead of scolding the victim. Instead of trying to infer that the victim must have done something to deserve it. You know what? Sometimes people are just assholes looking for excuses. Sometimes people victimize the wrong person. They victimize somebody they think nobody's going to listen to. And then they get pissed off when that victim speaks up. And sometimes that results in a lot of retaliation. Sometimes that results in their friends or family members taking part in the abuse. Claire Jordan has had to go through some shit. She's also the reason that I'm able to communicate right now on this YouTube channel. She helped me to pay for a phone thing that allows me to have a mobile hotspot. That mobile hotspot allows me to utilize my computer provided I have an outlet. However, in nearly the entire time that I've been here, I've been so exhausted from dealing with people and from having to move my stuff back and forth. I am physically exhausted. I am mentally exhausted. I am suffering from a severe lack of sleep. I have probably averaged maybe 3 hours of sleep a night, which is actually pretty good for me considering how little I got when I was sleeping in my car. This chair here is a lot more comfortable. I can lean back in it. I also, even though it's a cement floor, I have slept on the floor here. I got dizzy and lightheaded, kind of sick to my stomach. And yeah, I laid down for a few minutes and went, oh my God, if the world would just stop spinning. Of course, it wasn't like having a hangover, which is good. But it was still, well, I didn't have a headache. I was just nauseous. When you lay there for a few minutes, as long as the nausea subsides, it usually puts you to sleep for 15-20 minutes. I've been trying to clean up after others and myself, and try to. Uh, this lady who's been a ginormous pain in my ass, she'll come to the door and she'll do the thing with the door handle too, and then she'll walk away. And then she'll complain, and then I'll get to hear from other people about her complaining. I'm like, she should announce herself. She doesn't have a key. I was told not to let anybody without a key. I let her in because the guy told me to. Then he tells me don't let anybody without a key in again. This isn't working out. Don't let in anybody without a key. So the guy who loaned his key out yesterday didn't get his key back. So he wanted in today to look for his key in his wallet. Claire Jordan paid for the mobile hotspot that allows me to have this channel right now. It's done through this phone here. The not just Tillamook thing that I keep trying to explain. And it's not just the good old boy mentality. For a lot of people it is. But not for all of them. For a lot of people, they're just hateful and angry and been through a hell of their own. And it's nice for them to know that they have somebody they can take it out on. Unfortunately, they're taking out on the other victims. Natalie was not a victim of mine. I was and am a victim of hers.